Hi and welcome to Project Me, the mind and body experiment from Virtual Miss Friday. Now, I'm Michelle Dale, and you may recognize me from my work as a virtual assistant, digital nomad, online business consultant, that type of thing. And this project is very, very different. It's a very personal project. And I've decided to do it because if any of you have been following me for a while now, you'll know I'm a very solution oriented person. I solve problems, I find solutions, and I build businesses based on a series of experiments and trial and error and finding out what works. And I'm very much somebody who bases everything that I do on one thing. I base it on experience. And this is why I'm sharing the Project Me workshop with you, because I feel I've made a real breakthrough personally, and I know a lot of people are having the same problem that I was having, and I have the solution. I have the solution that worked for me, and I believe it'll work for a lot of other people too. So this is what I want to share with you today. It's well worth watching this video, and I'm going to explain to you why now. Okay, so first of all, let me explain to you what I'm going to be sharing in this video about the experiment. We're going to look at whether this experiment is for you, whether you should partake in it. We're going to look at what it could potentially do for you. I'm going to share with you a very personal story about me. And we're going to look at how it works and then taking part. So, is this for you? Let's look at the Project Me experiment. Now, first of all, I want to ask you, do you like what you see when you look in the mirror? If you're not at a mirror now, you go to a mirror and then say to yourself, yeah, I'm really comfortable with what I see. I like what I see. Or you might say to yourself, there's a few problems. I may be a little bit heavier than I want to be, or, I got bags under my eyes, and, there are little problems and things that are wrong with you that you say, I'm not exactly where I want to be right now. So take a look in the mirror. Do you like what you see? Are you happy with what you see? Or are you not? What happens when you look at photos of yourself? Let's say, you go out to a party or whatever, or you've got a family gathering, somebody takes a photo of you. Are you the type of person that looks at your photos and then you think, yeah, I look really great? Or are you the type of person who looks at your photos and then you're like, oh my God, I do not look like that? And is it like, maybe your weight that's letting you down, or, it could even be your hair or anything like that. But how comfortable do you feel being photographed or having your photo taken? Next question is, have you tried diets in the past that were a struggle, and they may have worked like temporarily, you kind of forced some weight off, and then maybe you kind of went back to the weight you were before, or you ended up in this yo-yo method trying different diets and nothing was working, or it did work and then it stopped working. It could be a whole variety of things. Have you tried to lose weight in the past and get in shape and it's just not worked? And have you had any annoying ailments that don't seem to go away? It might be something like a skin problem, or like clicking in your knees, or one of these problems that are generally associated with health and diet. And have you used time, family, kids, business, and more as reasons why you aren't in the best shape? Now, the reason I say this is because all of these things apply to me, okay? When I look in the mirror, I don't see the person that I want to be. I don't see the person I want to see staring back at me. When I have my photo taken, I cringe. I seriously cringe, and I try and avoid the camera, whether it be photos and videos, as often as possible. And it's kind of sad, really. I've tried different diets before, and my weight has fluctuated, and I'm going to share my personal story with you. And I've often used sort of like, I don't have time to do this because of the kids. I don't have time to eat right. I don't have time to exercise. I'm running a business, and I love my business. And sometimes, I sit here, all night doing a project and I forget to eat, or I eat the wrong stuff. I go and grab it from the fridge and it's total rubbish. Okay, so at one point that was me. And I realized kind of that enough was enough. So if you answered yes to any of those questions, in my opinion, just like me, you need a change. whether it be self-image, whether it be body, whether it be weight loss, whether it be curing any kind of health or ailments, or just improving your general overall happiness. Because the way you are internally, the way you feel internally, and the way you look externally affects your happiness. It really does. So now I want to share with you my story. So this will help illustrate whether this could possibly work for you. So from my late teens, I've struggled, and you may relate to this story, or it might, you may relate to parts of it, but I've always been a little bit heavier. I was very, very skinny up until a certain point. I turned about sort of 15, and, I started sort of piling on pounds, and it was kind of like a progressive thing from there. My weight would fluctuate, and even when I ate very little, in my late teens, I would still gain weight, and I would wonder what the hell was going on. I thought it was just my metabolism or genetics, something like that. And then in 2006, about a year after I started traveling, I was in my best shape that I'd ever been in. Okay, I wasn't skinny by any means, but I was feeling very, very happy. I'd lost quite a lot of weight. I ate pretty much what I wanted, and I did a lot of walking. I did a hell of a lot of walking. I was living right by the River Nile. I used to basically walk miles up the stretch of the River Nile and then back again every single day. I'd take my iPod, I put my iPod in, and I would just walk, at sunset. It was the most beautiful thing. I would want to do it. It would inspire me. It was the time when I was building my business, and it was just an amazing thing for me to do that. And I believe that the amount of walking that I did on a daily basis really helped me moderate my weight. But in 2007, I became pregnant with baby number 1, and I gained weight during that pregnancy. Okay, I didn't really concern myself about what I was eating. I enjoyed food anyway. I didn't really get very much exercise. I was actually in Paris at the time, and I would kind of walk around Paris a lot. But apart from that, I would also indulge in all the wonderful Parisian food and French delights and things. So I gained weight during that pregnancy. And then the next pregnancy, baby number 2, came just 6 months after I'd had the first one. So I never actually made any attempt to lose the weight from pregnancy number 1. And when I got on the scales after I had my second baby, I was horrified to find that I'd gained 45 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight, the pre-pregnancy weight that I was before my first child. And I was kind of a stranger to the scales throughout the whole time of the whole pregnancy. So to see that I gained that weight was pretty shocking for me, because to be honest with you, I was already about 20 pounds over the weight I wanted to be at that time before I got pregnant. So, I just hadn't gained 45 pounds. I was now about 65 pounds overweight, maybe 75, okay, if you add in what I probably should weigh. So that's a hell of a lot of weight to deal with, to cope with. If you've ever had weight problems, you'll probably know that this does impact other areas of your life. For example, not wanting to have your photo taken, not wearing the clothes that you want to wear. Most of my wardrobe is filled with clothes that fit me, not clothes that I like, that I would wear if I was, much thinner than I am. So I decided to educate myself, and I began to study different diets and different alternatives of eating, different therapies such as hypnosis, and I really took to experimenting on myself. And I lost 45 pounds of the kind of 65 pound that I needed to lose over the course of a few years, because basically it would fluctuate and go up and down. I would try diets, I would realize they didn't work, I'd lose weight, and then I'd gain some weight. But over the course of that, I managed to lose the 45 pound that I gained from the first 2 pregnancies. I was feeling pretty good at that point. And just as I was around about 20 pounds away from my goal weight, I became pregnant again in 2013 with baby number 3. And to my horror, again, after I got on the scales, a few months after I'd had my baby, I realized I'd gained all of the 45 pounds back that I'd lost over the previous few years. And that's disheartening, because you think to yourself, holy crap, I lost 45 pounds over a few years, it's going to take me a few years to lose this again. I mean, that was my first real major concern. The second concern I had was that, my knees were really hurting because of all the extra weight I was carrying. And, to me, I was at square one again. I'd gone from 20 pound off my goal weight back up to 65 pound off my goal weight. And it was pretty disheartening. So after I finished breastfeeding, I decided enough was enough, and I had to know what I had to do to change this cycle, okay? And I finished breastfeeding at the end of 2014, so it wasn't that long ago. And I realized something. I was studying completely the wrong thing that was going to help me. I'd been studying diets. I'd been studying weight loss. Okay, and that was my problem. I should have been studying health. I should have been studying food, what goes into food. I should have been studying nutrition, biochemistry, and psychology. Those are the things that I should have been studying, not diets. And I should have been looking for the cause of why I kept going through those cycles and those fluctuations before I started looking at the solution. To me, diets were a solution, but they weren't the solution because I really didn't understand the cause. And once I had a good idea of how to change my body and work with it using these new ideas and this new information and this new research, instead of imagining it was the enemy, my body was working against me, and it hated me because of the way it was, it must have hated me because why would it stay this way? Everything changed for me, and I learned how to work with my body instead of trying force against it. So I was able to lose over 40 pounds without effort, stress, struggle, feeling hungry, deprived. In fact, I was eating completely normally. You have no idea what a revelation this was for me because it took me a few years to lose 40 pounds with the first two, and this time I did it in the space of a few months. And I did it without any kind of struggle or strain or stress, and I was feeling fantastic, and I do feel fantastic. I was eating absolutely normally, what I now call normally. And I literally couldn't believe what I discovered in myself about my own body. And I took all the knowledge and information I learned and I created my own plan. I call this plan Project Me. The fact is, everybody is different. So Project Me isn't the same for everyone. And I think that's what we really need to grasp here. But I can tell you how to create your own Project Me. I can tell you this. I can tell you all the resources, everything I used, the signs I was looking for about myself, about my body. And I could basically tell you now how to create your own Project Me, the way I created Project Me to basically lose this 40 pounds in the space of a few months. But I'm not just going to tell you how to do it. I'm actually going to show you. And this is what Project Me is all about. See, I have around about 30 pounds left to lose, and I'm so confident this works. I'm so confident that Project Me is the solution to all this struggle that I've had, that I'm going to put myself in a goldfish bowl just for you. So you can literally watch the changes that occur in me, and I hope this will inspire you to create your own Project Me and hopefully follow the steps and the guidelines that I've used basically to change my life, to lose the over 40 pounds and to basically go on to losing an extra 30 pounds with you, so you can see this happening in real life. You can see it. You can see that I found the solution to this problem. So I hope to lose the weight, obviously, but not only that, I want to cure up a problem that I have on my skin, which is psoriasis. It's not a chronic problem, by the way. It's a small problem that sort of, it hangs around and lingers, and it's sort of a bit of psoriasis on my arms. And I want to clear that up, and I also want to clear up a real persistent ear infection that I have. I generally don't visit doctors. I don't have a lot of faith in doctors, and I tend not to go to doctors, so I'm not taking any treatments for this whatsoever. I'm not doing drugs or creams or potions or lotions or anything. And also I want to clear up this ear infection that I get, which, I don't understand why I get it. I went to a doctor once many years ago, and they didn't understand why I got it either. So that's another thing that I want to clear up. And also I want to make over my life. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. I believe that my body image has held me back from achieving some of the goals that I want to achieve. In fact, I pretty much know it has. So I'm hoping that when I lose this extra 30 pounds and I get to a place where I look in the mirror and I see the person I want to see staring back at me, I will hopefully be that person who can go ahead and finish completing those goals and achieving those goals that I have in my life. Okay, so I'm hoping that this is going to help make over my life. And if it does, then it might be that you also have goals that you're not achieving because of your self-image and your body. So I'm going to document and share every single detail with you: what I eat, what I drink, my activity, any exercise I'm doing, the meditations that I'm doing, the sleep, everything that I do on a daily basis, I'm going to share with you. I'm also going to share my own personal Project Me plan, so you know what I'm doing as well. You know the plan. So you're going to be able to see if I fail at certain things, or I don't do certain things, or I stick to certain things. And you're also going to be able to see how I tweak my Project Me as we're going through. Because my Project Me is not the same all the time. It actually changes. And I think that is another reason why people don't ever sort of achieve goal weights and things on diets, or end up reverting back, because the Project Me has to change as you go through. And there's a 4-step process to that, a 4-step process of change, which I share with you inside the program. So I'm going to share photos and video that I would absolutely never put out publicly. Keep in mind, I'm still not comfortable with my appearance whatsoever. You may notice that if you look around the web, there's no kind of full-length body shots of me, because I'm so unhappy with that. But I am going to share these body shots and also pictures of like my psoriasis and crazy things like that with you inside the members area. I hope that the people who join this program will see it as a learning experience and take it for what it really is. This is real life, folks. This is the real me. And I've achieved so much in business and financially in my life, but I feel that the one place that I've really been letting myself down is my body, and that's going to change. So why am I doing this? I'm basically doing this because nobody should have to struggle with their body the way I have. And if this helps just one person change their life for the better and change their body, their image, and actually lose the weight and keep it off, or cure the ailment and keep it off, then, I think it's completely all worth it. It's all worth the embarrassment and humiliation that I'm going to be going through as I take you through this experiment with me. Okay, so this is how it works, guys. Basically, there's a live webinar held on the 11th of May, and in that live webinar, I'm going to take you through Project Me, how it works, what you've got access to, how to use it yourself, and also, what to expect from the period of time that we'll be doing Project Me. It's completely open-ended, by the way. I am not closing this project until all 30 pounds have gone from my body. You'll get 3 video lessons which teach you how to create your own Project Me, weekly journal with audio, video, and photos. There'll be a support group, an ongoing access, so you'll get access to this forever. I'm going to keep it in the members area, and you'll have a 3-month follow-up progress report, so I can show you and share with you that this is sustainable. So let me explain these in a little bit more detail. First of all, the 3-part video course is basically a course I put together to show you how to create your own Project Me, using the formula that I use to create mine, the tools and the resources I use to create mine. And these are the same tools and resources going into biochemistry, psychology, food, nutrition, etc. These are the same resources that I use to basically shift 40 pounds in the space of a few months. Then I'm going to be sharing the plan I use to dissolve the 30 pounds to hit my goal weight and hopefully cure some of my minor elements. So basically, I'm going to tell you how to create your own Project Me, give you all the tools and everything that I use to create mine. And I researched this over years, by the way. I mean, a lot of the research that I did into the new stuff is very recent, but it's also taking research that I did over basically the last 3 or 4 years, where I've been really immersing myself into this stuff. And so I'm going to be sharing with you my own project. Then I'm going to allow you to observe and hopefully get inspired by what I'm doing. I'll share every detail with you of my day. You can use me as a research tool. You can look at me as a guinea pig if you like. This is experimental. But, you know, I'm going to go into details. Basically, I'm not just going to share what I eat, but I'm going to share with you how I prepare it as well, you know, and the various different processes that I go through, you know, the state of mind that I'm in. I'm going to share with you how I'm feeling about things, you know, generally like that. It's going to be a full-on, you know, behind the scenes type of thing. Then I'm going to do a daily and weekly journal. So basically, if you're part of the campus, there'll be like a daily sort of blog that I'll write on there for you, sharing my experiences, what I've been doing. I journal daily anyway because it really, really helps me stay on target, and that's one of the things that you're going to learn in the course. But I'm actually going to be publicly sharing that journal with you guys, and you'll also have a weekly audio and video. And transformation photos. So basically, I'm going to share with you stats, statistics, my weight on a weekly basis. I'm going to share with you measurements as well, because I think those are important. Although I've never taken measurements, I'm going to start doing that now just for the sake of this exercise and this experiment. And I'm also going to share with you the photos, the heavily embarrassing photos of me, and also I'm going to share with you pictures of my psoriasis so you can see it if it actually does clear up. You know, I don't know if it will. I hope it will. This is all experimental. But heck, I really do love you guys to be doing this, to be exposing myself like this in such a way. So then we're going to look at external impact. And like I say, I've been creating amazing life and business for myself. I've got a great family. I've got great relationships. I've got a lot of freedom. I'm able to travel. However, I have unachieved goals that I believe are linked to my body image, my self-image. And I'm going to sort of share with you, you know, if any other area of my life has been impacted by what I'm doing as I lose the weight. And I'm going to give you a follow-up in 3 months, so I won't be stopping this workshop and basically saying, oh, I've lost 30 pounds, that's it, goodbye. I'm going to be losing the 30 pounds, and then 3 months later, I'm going to do a webinar with a personal progress report, basically, so you can see whether I've been able to keep it off or not. So let's look at the taking part. You've got two options. There's solo for people who want to observe, and then there's group for people who want to make changes to their own body. So the solo is just for the observers. If you're already happy the way you are and you just want to observe this as a sort of research and development thing, you're more than welcome to. You're going to get the course learning material, you're going to get the weekly journal and the transformational photos. So you can basically observe and follow this. Then the group is for changes. If you actually want to make a change yourself and you need the support and you need the daily diary to see the specifics, the absolute specifics of what I'm doing, and you would like to see the live webinar and join that on the follow-up, then basically you want to join the group option. So you'll be able to get all that additional support and all those specifics and details about what I'm doing. And you'll have access to the full members area, whether you're on solo or group. So you'll have access to the members area. This is a members area. It's already set up for you and ready and waiting, so you can get access right away. And you'll also have access to the campus if you are in the group. So if you choose the solo option, you won't have access to the campus. If you choose the group option, you'll have access to the campus and my personal blog and all sorts of other photos. I can take you inside my life here in Crete as well. You know, that's what I'm intending to do anyway. And you'll have full access to me inside the group. You can leave comments on my blog posts. You can ask me questions, you know, whatever it is you want to do. And generally, if you have a question about food or health or nutrition, I can point you in the right direction. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know anything other than the research I've done myself online, but I found some extremely reliable sources who I can share with you. And like I say, you'll also get access behind the scenes more into my life, my personal life, through this Project Me. So the solo is only £47. This is so cheap for what you get. It's £47 if you just want to be an observer, and you can also pay that in 2 payments. Or if you want the full-on interactive workshop with the group, with the the blog posts, the daily blog posts and things like that, and the behind the scenes work and access to me personally, then you can join the group option at £97, and there is an option to make 2 payments for that. So join me now, sign up below. There is no need to wait. You can get right in there. Sign up for the webinar, the live webinar that we're going to be doing, where I introduce all the details of this project and how it's going to work. And also, this is not just Project Me, this is Project You. I want to really be able to support you and share what I know about how I was able to achieve this weight loss very, very healthily, by the way. There is no fads, there is no questionable dietary things that I'm doing. I've got access to nutritionists, I've spoken to health experts directly, and I know that everything that I'm doing personally myself is, you know, for my own health benefit, but also what I'm going to teach you is how to teach yourself what you need to know about your health. And I'm going to be sharing with you some amazing insights and statistics about everything that you possibly think you know about health may be wrong. And you can basically just follow and watch me, or you can join in, ask questions. It's entirely up to you. So thank you very much, and I'm going to see you on the inside.